toss, deferring to the second half. Georgia Tech will receive the kick. And underway. They've won 5 consecutive games on the road in conference play. They got a 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. And an ignominious beginning with a penalty.
Offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Lewis, we're going to get a look at Haynes King at quarterback, and he is, quote-unquote, the problem for the Tigers' defense, right?
There's no question. Look, this is a guy who's thrown for over 2,300 yards, has rushed for over 500 yards, and someone who right now is in his bag as far as being comfortable in this offense and doing whatever is necessary in order to move this football down the field. Clemson's defense is up against it here today.
Georgia Tech going to have to deal with the noise. A gaping hole in the middle for Jamal Haynes. And Haynes lunging to pick up about 9 yards. Makuba making the tackle on the play. And 2nd and short coming up. There's a look at the numbers on Haynes King. Last week, 23 of 30 in their win. On the season, completing a little over 63% of his passes.
There you saw a little bit of the Georgia Tech rushing game. 300 rushing yards in consecutive games for the first time since 2018. This team can run it against anybody.
And a drop pass by Haynes. The converted wide receiver couldn't hang on to it. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
This is where Haynes King's ability to create outside the pocket can really cause you problems. If his 1st, 2nd option is not there, this is a guy who will absolutely rip you with his legs. So you have to rush with lane integrity and keep vision on him, especially if you're playing some kind of zone, which I don't expect here on 3rd and short. Expect Clemson to be playing some man-to-man.
King looking to pass, taking a shot, has a man, and through the arms of his receiver, incomplete. Singleton. Wow, that looked like he had it go right through his hands. He got in behind Nate Wiggins. They can ill afford to miss on these kind of shots.
Just look at this nice inside release, and then you just see the speed. This young man has got blazing long speed, and he just lost track of it as it was coming down on him on his outside shoulder. But that's the kind of explosiveness that Georgia Tech now possesses offensively, both in the run game and pass game.
David Shanahan punting from his own 24-yard line. Not a great punt, but it takes a auspicious bounce for Georgia Tech inside the 30. All the way down to the 27-yard line, where it'll be 1st down and 10 for Cade Klubnik and the Tigers offense. Take a look at today's impact players. Boy, Phil Mafah had himself a week last week.
Yeah, he ran the ball over 30 times. Was an absolute bruiser inside the tackle, drift off long runs. And for Georgia Tech, it's going to be about the secondary in particular. Jalen King, they are going to have to decide to come downhill, wrap up, and put big hits on these running backs. Expect to see Will Shipley here today also. The defensive backs play a critical role in this game.
Those are Hoya financial impact players. Short gain on the play by Mafah. Got about 3 on the play.
And there you see it right out of the gate. You just see the kind of power that Mafah has in his lower body. You have got to run your legs on contact and drive him backwards, or this guy will just make your afternoon miserable.
Look at the numbers for him. 2nd down and 7. Klubnik hands it off to him again, and got to about the 30-yard line, little to no gain. Biggers, the first one to get there for Georgia Tech.
Big Zeke Biggers goes 6'6", 333 pounds. The biggest defender on their front 7 that they have. And when he decides to turn it up, folks, this guy is fun to watch because he will wreck the interior offensive line. And Clemson's going to have to account for it.
Here we go on 3rd and 7. Three receivers out to the top of your screen. Klubnik batted down, incomplete at the 32-yard line. And it'll be 4th down and 3 and out. Sims there to knock it away from Stellato.
That's really been indicative of the Clemson passing game over the past 2 weeks. A lot of slants, a lot of flat routes, a lot of screens, a lot of inside breaking stuff, trying to protect Cade Klubnik and trying to get this turnover differential to flip back in their favor. Because as Dabo Swinney, as you see on your screen, has said, it has just absolutely killed this football team this year.
Swanson had a great week punting it last week. This one comes down at the 23-yard line to Dominic Blaylock. It'll be 1st and 10 for Georgia Tech after the 47-yard punt for Haynes King. Looking for a regal performance this afternoon. Back after this.
Have fun, sis.
The second year, but first full season as head coach at Georgia Tech. Took over last year. Dabo Swinney feels like his team has turned a corner after that upset win last week against a ranked opponent, Notre Dame, in his 16th season on the sidelines at Clemson. 1st down and 10 for Georgia Tech from the 24-yard line. Jamal Haynes in the backfield. Haynes got to the edge. And Dante Smith with a nice carry. As we take a look at Lou's do's and don'ts.
Yeah, if you're Georgia Tech, you have to neutralize this Clemson defensive front. You see they're already trying to get on the edges here with the run game. Defensively, don't miss tackles when big Phil Mafah's out there running the football. For Clemson, you got to win the turnover battle, and you can't let Haynes King become a runner in this Georgia Tech offense, because if he does, you're in trouble.
Jamal Haynes picking up the 1st down for Georgia Tech. The turnover story is always a barometer of success when it comes to this game, right?
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah, absolutely. At any level, Mark, whether it be college, pro, high school, you lose the turnover differential, it'll be one of those statistics that will just absolutely negate everything else you're trying to get done. And that has happened to Clemson numerous times this year.
Look at this. Going to have the 2nd infraction against Georgia Tech.
Number 65, offense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
So an uneven beginning for the offensive line of Georgia Tech, coming off a win last week, 45-17 against Virginia.
They got the right guard, the transfer from Princeton, Connor Scaglione, who's been one of their most steady performers. This offensive line, very solid this year.
King going to be sacked back at about the 23-yard line. Maskell.
And you're just going to see it here. The 5-man rush, and you see Maskell rushing on the right side of the defensive line with a nice spin move back inside. With the one-on-one matchups are going to be key for Clemson, because they have got some monsters on their front 7 that can make life miserable for you, and they're going to have to set the tone against this explosive Georgia Tech offense.
2nd and long, Haynes King. Here's where he can hurt defenses, but contained and corralled after a short gain by Peter Woods. Picked up 2 on the play.
You see it right here. Watch Peter Woods, the freshman, one of the best players on this Clemson defense. You see he gets double teamed originally. He does not give up. Stays square, keeps his eye on the quarterback. That's going to be critical against a guy like Haynes King.
Gets it out quickly this time, complete to the edge. That's Singleton, who's going to be pushed out of bounds.
As complete to Eric Singleton.
Little gain on the play. 4th down coming up, though, for Georgia Tech.
It's a nice job by Clemson's defense, again, getting off the field and seeing if they get their offense back on the field to establish some kind of rhythm. But I tell you, this Clemson defense, and you see big Peter Woods right there, the freshman out of the state of Alabama. I'm telling you what, when I first threw on the film of this young man, I was going, there's just no way. There is no way this guy is a freshman. Heavy hands, strong, great motor. Him and T.J. Parker, 2 freshmen together. Clemson set up for a long time.
Got a flag down. Hemp Green retrieved that punt of 38 yards. And you talk about Woods. Keep an eye on T.J. Parker, another very precocious, talented freshman for Clemson. Woods grew up about 45 minutes from Tuscaloosa, so he was a big get for the Tigers to pluck him away from Alabama.
Dabo just raved about the fact that their foundation is pretty secure, especially on that side of the ball. And I think you're in for a treat today if you like defensive football.
During the kick, illegal block in the back. Receiving team, number 3. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. 1st down, timeout.
be smarter than that, especially in a game that's going to really be critical when it comes to field positions.
Offensive lineman at Georgia Tech, and stylistically, these are not your dad's or grandpa's Georgia Tech football players, and stylistically different.
No, not at all. This is a guy who's going to emphasize offensive line play, running the football, explosive playmaking, disciplined defense. Georgia Tech's in good hands.
Klubnik incomplete at the 25-yard line. Q.
I've become obsessed with winning is what Brent Key is looking for from his team. That is, be the best version of yourself, do the small things, elevate the standard. This is a young man, as you said, a tenacious offensive guard for Georgia Tech, graduating in 2000. He's 45 years old. His hero, his mom, Donna, an elementary school teacher back in Birmingham, Alabama.
2nd down and 10. Nowhere to go. Going to be brought behind the line of scrimmage, Tyler Brown. It was interesting that Coach Key didn't show football, but a certain legendary basketball player filmed to his team to emphasize winning. Right?
Yeah, he showed him on Sunday. He showed him videos of the great Kobe Bryant, the late great Kobe Bryant, and about Kobe's dedication to winning, about being obsessed with winning, about committing yourself to the process of being great. And Brent tries to emphasize, look, I don't need you to go above and beyond what your limitations are, but I definitely need you to strive to reach your maximum limitations. And if you do that, we'll be just fine. And right now, they're off to a great start.
3rd and long, and they're going to keep it on the ground with Mafah. Broke a couple of tackles across the 20, out to the 22-yard line, but once again, it's going to be punting after the 7-yard gain. Kennard making the tackle for Georgia Tech. Well, good news for Clemson this week and Dabo Swinney is that Will Shipley is back and ready to play. And he's a really potent and prolific part of that offensive backfield. Haven't seen him yet.
What you've seen so far is this Georgia Tech defensive front, the much maligned defensive front.
Oh, they're going to try and fake it. He's running, Jack Smith, and he's not going to get there. Georgia Tech will take over on down after the fake that brings it out to the 25. Aiden Swanson did not get enough.
But this is a really nice job on Georgia Tech's punt return unit of keeping eyes on the punter and making sure that he does, in fact, go ahead and executes the punting operation. Just watch here. Watch how the front line here, once they rush and aren't going to get there, look at the vision right now on the punter. Look at the 4 defenders. Keep eyes on the football, contain men, keep contained. Do not allow the punter to break contain and get around the corner. That's just excellent execution on the part of the Georgia Tech special teams.
Working with a short field. They hand it off to Haynes. Gaping hole, Haynes. Hustling down to the 5. 1st and goal, Georgia Tech. 20-yard pickup.
This Georgia Tech offensive line that has been intact all year long. They run a combination of zone scheme and gap scheme, meaning it's the zone blocking, the power blocking with the powers and the counters. And look, when your head coach is a former all-ACC offensive lineman at his alma mater, you can best believe he's going to emphasize the run game. He's going to emphasize winning the line of scrimmage. And they're going up against one of the best defensive fronts in all college football and imposing their will so far in this game.
Sure are. 1st and goal. Singleton on the jet sweep, but instead Haynes King keeps it, and he had a bunch of company waiting for him right there. Wade Woodaz was the first one to get there for Clemson, and that's going to be a loss of 3 yards on the play. 2nd and goal coming up.
That's an excellent job by Woodaz here at the top of the screen. Again, staying square to the line of scrimmage and making sure that you can change direction either left or right and move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage, because you do not want to let Haynes King break the perimeter and get out on the edge because he's got game-breaking speed.
2nd and goal. Big formation team, Georgia Tech. King hands it off. And Haynes will pick up a couple. Griffin back. After the 4-yard stop play, makes the stop. It'll be 3rd and goal.
was a great defensive play by one of my favorite defenders on the Clemson defense, and I'm going to say his name, Rook Orororo. He is an incredible defensive tackle. They have got a bunch of them up there as they shuttle through here. And Dabo's calling on him to make a big stop here.
King's going to keep it. Makes a move. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. He got in. Haynes King patiently found a crease. And it's tapped for everybody.
Here you got the double teams here. You're going to get pull, and watch Haynes just be patient on this counter. This quarterback counter, you see him right there. Just put his foot in the ground and just kind of get north and south before Andrew Makuba, the safety, can get a good hit on him. But that right there is classic Georgia Tech. Classic. Take the deep shots down the field, trying to hit a big one with Eric Singleton. You saw him, they almost got one earlier. The running backs, Jamal Haynes, been running the football with authority. And then go ahead and let Haynes King, the big 6'3", 204-pound dual-threat quarterback, take it in.
Transfer out of Texas A&M with his 6th rushing touchdown of the season, the 7th of his career. Let's take another look at it.
You see it here.
Close.
I think that's a clear touchdown. Great start for Georgia Tech. And if you're Clemson, you're going to have to answer the bell now offensively.
Couldn't have scripted it any better after that turnover, able to capitalize on the fake punt. Back to Rwanda Memorial Stadium on Veterans Day here in Clemson, South Carolina. That number really jumps off the screen at you. 8 yards in the first 7 plays. A couple of 3-and-outs. And going up against a defense that has been porous at times, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's been against the run that Georgia Tech's defense has struggled. Every team has run the football on them, moved the ball up and down the field. This Clemson offensive line has got to establish the line of scrimmage now.
Let's go back to the studio.
Mark, time now for our All-State Good Hands play of the day. Kevin Nagani with Booger McFarland, number 8, Alabama and Kentucky. After Jalen Milroe was shaken up, he comes back to find Amari Niblack.
I love the fact he looks to safety off, comes back across the middle, easy touchdown.
And then Bama gets the ball again. It's Milroe to Kobe Prentice. A win today, they clinch a spot in the SEC championship game.
No doubt about it. With the quarterback throwing the ball the way he is, Kev, that's likely.
Bama up 14-0 over on ESPN. Back to Mark and Lewis.
Georgia Tech with its first lead against Clemson in 9 years. Will Shipley in the football game, but they throw it to the outside. Nice catch by Collins, and Bo Collins picks up Clemson's first down of the football game. 20 yards in all.
They just got to establish some rhythm. Cade has to put the ball on these wide receivers so they can catch and run. They're not a deep shot team per se. A lot of short stuff in the passing game.
Gets it out quickly to Tyler Brown, and Brown across midfield to the 47. Hey, coming up next on ABC, Miami faces number 4 Florida State, 3:30 Eastern. Then number 1 Ole Miss taking on number 2 Georgia in an SEC primetime showdown at 7 Eastern on ESPN and the app. Great day for college football.
I kind of like what offensive coordinator Garrett Riley is doing now. He's kind of speeding up the tempo a little bit, telling Cade, get the ball out of your hands quickly. We got to establish some tempo here, try and get some first downs, get into a rhythm.
And it's in motion. They're going to hand it off to Shipley, and Shipley will barely get back to the line of scrimmage. Dowse making the stop on the play for Georgia Tech. Will Shipley missed last week's game against Notre Dame, but Coach Swinney gave us a hint of what might come this afternoon, and that he's heard all of the chatter about the relative success and prolific ways of Phil Mafah, and Will Shipley poised and ready to let everybody know that he's not to be forgotten. Ready to put up a nice number today, 3rd and 4. Gets it out quickly, there's Shipley, and on cue, the catch and run resulting in a first down. That might help, Lewis.
You're just going to swing him out of the backfield quickly. Again, the quick passing game. Cade Klubnik, just put it right on him. Just put it on him. Let him get outside of Georgia Tech's pass game leverage and let him run down the sideline.
I'm going to flag down on the play. See if this 12-yard pickup stands or not.
So the play is a first down after the play was over. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 9. 15-yard penalty. First down. This is number 9's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
Jake Brenning's stool.
And I think he just peeled back, had a little bit of a blindside block. You can see him coming across the middle of the field. Just a little bit of an unnecessary hit. These are just the kind of things you just don't want to have. I mean, you don't need to do that. It doesn't do anything to the play at all. And you're not showing anybody anything. You're not proving anything. You're just hurting your football team.
Moves it back to the 48. Klubnik out of the pocket. And wisely gets rid of it. Outside the pocket, beyond the line of scrimmage, receiver in the area. Good pressure by Moala.
Trying to take a shot down the field, but it was the pressure.
You got a player down there.
I think that is Moala who came on that linebacker fire.
Second and 10.
You see it at the end of the play. I think he just kind of gets he may have got kicked in the head by Klubnik.
So second and 10 from the 48. Shipley in the backfield. Shipley motions out, makes the catch. Try to get him in space, made a nice move. Ends up about a yard shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and short coming up.
You can live with this if you're offensive coordinator Garrett Riley. This is what you want. Let's just get completions. Let's just be a facilitator. We got tremendous ball carriers in the backfield between Shipley and Mafah.
He looked pretty good on his 2 touches there, right?
No doubt about it. And there's Garrett Riley. You see him right there. You can tell him, they're just trying to get some rhythm going and just get Cade settled down. You see the ball's coming out of his hands a little bit better. The location's a little bit better. Now this is a key 3rd down and plus territory that he needs to execute on.
3rd and 2, Shipley got it done, got the first down. Down to the 41-yard line, picked up a couple of yards. Had a sensational 2021 season, 2nd team freshman All-American.
Now we're in that point on the field where, again, after a first down plus territories where you typically want to take a shot. They tried to hit Tyler Brown earlier, had him open down the field. If it weren't for the pressure, maybe they try and go for one again here soon.
Shipley trying to bounce it outside and corralled for a loss of a yard on the play. Well, here's the next UFC fight night from Madison Square Garden with the light heavyweight main event. The prelims begin tonight at 8 Eastern, followed by the main card at 10 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus. Under 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Back at the 42. Klubnik on the move, and he's going to be brought down to the 44-yard line. He'll lose a couple of yards on the play. Andre White there to make the stab. Good penetration by Zeke Biggers.
I'll tell you, Big Zeke, man. This guy, he shows up on tape when his motor is running hot. He is a load at 333 pounds. They ran a little stunt inside between Biggers and Scott. And right now, this defensive line that has struggled at points in time during this 23 season is really giving Clemson's front line fits when it comes to pass protection.
On 3rd and long. Backside pressure. Klubnik in traffic. Tough catch by Brennan Stool. Hung on, but it's going to be 4th down. He's short of the first down. King made the stop on the play. A pickup of 6. And wonder what the analytics say about this one on 4th down at the, just inside the 38-yard line. 4th and 7. And they're going to go for it. The analytics say go for it as well.
Dabo feels as though his defense is playing good enough football over the course of the season to take some of these chances. Here's another big one. Tried the fake punt, didn't get it.
6 of 15 on 4th down. And he fires a dart. Klubnik for the first down to Collins.
But you're going to see good pass protection up front, and you're going to see Bo Collins just come down and hook up in the zone void. When you get pass protection, quarterback can sit back there and just kind of pat the ball and just wait for his primary to come open. That's the kind of chance you want to take on fourth down. If you're going to get that kind of execution, they'll call 4th and 5+ all day long.
There's Phil Mafah back in the backfield. Takes the toss into the boundary. Got a blocker in front of him. A good tackle on the play by Rodney Shelley. Was hanging on to his shoelace. Picked up 2.
Look for a minute like Phil Mafah got the corner, like they had got it all sealed off. You saw linebacker number 4, Braylon Oliver, with that good speed that he has, the lateral range. Get out there and get that ball turned back into pursuit.
On 2nd and 8. Mafah still in the backfield. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter of play. 15 minutes in the books here on Veterans Day. Clemson down by the stadium. Once again, thanks going out to those who continue to serve and who have served in the past. Domestically and internationally all around the world. Kelly making the tackle on the play on Will Shipley. A shout out to the belated late Carl Jones, cousin who served in Vietnam back in the day. 3rd down and 6 for the Tigers. Klubnik has connected on 7 of his last 8.
Got to get the ball to Tyler Brown.
He's going to do it himself, and he's going to be short. 4th and short. Lewis, do they go for it here?
I think they're going to. Look, Dabo has been aggressive this entire time. They have struggled in the red area all season long. Georgia Tech's defense has struggled in the red area all season long.
And the analytics say, of course, green light.
You've got a 230-pound back on your team. And here he comes out onto the field. You tell your offensive line, you get some movement at the line of scrimmage, and you let Phil pick his spot, and you let him go. Don't like getting in gun or pistol for this, but that's college football, but you got to give it to the big boy.
230 pounds, straight ahead. Oh, it's going to be close. It is going to be tenuously close if you're Clemson. And they're going to give it to him. Well, we're 3 stories up. The officials got a better vantage point, obviously. And there's the spot.
You're going to see they're just going to give it to him right in the A-gap and let him go toe-to-toe with the linebacker core.
He had to work for it.
He sure did.
1st and goal. Off on the backfield. Straight ahead between the tackles down to the 4. Mafah, their leading rusher on the season.
You see Clemson offensive line starting to come off the ball a little bit on that left side. Trent Howard, number 75. Tristan Lee, number 71. Those 2 guys helped set the tone last week against a stout Notre Dame front. They're going to have to do it again here.
Mafah again. Nowhere to go. Just got back to the line of scrimmage, barely. They challenged Mafah as well last week, as well as that offensive line, and came up with that huge rushing performance against Notre Dame. But Zeke Biggers was the first one to get there. You mentioned 333 pounds. When he steps on the scale says to be continued.
Yeah, look, and I'll tell you what, this Georgia Tech defensive line has struggled to stop the run. They've got pushed around. They have gotten bullied. Clearly, they have been challenged. And now here we got a critical 3rd down.
Renstool in motion now sets. 3 receivers to the top of the screen. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Collins.
That's just a nice route by Bo Collins. And if you look here at Klubnik, he puts it right where it needs to be on that outside shoulder. He one-hands it. Ooh. One hand.
Did he have control of that through the catch?
We get another shot of it. Nice release off the line of scrimmage. You see Bo on the ball. May have been moving a little bit.
They're looking at the... Clemson an extra point away from tying this game up.
They saw it at 7 because they saw all they needed to see.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, Clemson needed that touchdown.
Yep.
That's for sure.
Third touchdown catch of the season for Bo Collins. Clemson trying to make it 9 wins in a row against Georgia Tech.
Travis.
Welcome back, everyone, to Memorial Stadium. Clemson University tying up the game against Georgia Tech a moment ago. We're knotted at 7. Just under 12 minutes to go in the opening half. The winner of this game officially becomes bowl eligible with their 6th victory. Both spots coming in at 5 and 4. And Haynes King will have it 1st and 10 from zone 25. But first, back to the studio. Happy Veterans Day, guys.
Thank you, Mark. Let's go to Happy Valley. No Jim Harbaugh on the sidelines. He'd approve this play call, bro.
Yeah, fullback on the end, pull the backside guard, and power football by the Wolverines.
Blake Corum into the end zone. Michigan up 7-3 over Penn State. And happy Veterans Day to all that have sacrificed. Thank you. Back to you, Mark.
1st and 10 from the 25. Dante Smith in the backfield for Georgia Tech. Out into the flat and caught, but immediately brought down is Malik Rutherford. Tackling this Georgia Tech team, we see a lot of moving parts in their offense, Lewis. Tell me about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of motions and shifts. They try to give you a lot to adjust to defensively, and maybe you make a mistake as far as adjusting your front, sliding your linebackers, rotating the secondary, so they can get the numbers in their favor.
King on the move, brought down at the 12. Jeremiah Trotter with the tackle. One of the leaders on the defense, maybe the alpha on that Clemson defense.
Here it is, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. You just watch him here. Watch the instincts. Coming in coverage, just go ahead and contain the quarterback. Keep him on your inside shoulder. Don't let him break contain. One of the best linebackers in all of college football. Had a heck of a game last week against Notre Dame. They're going to need him again today.
Yeah, had that pick 6. That pass incomplete at the 11-yard line. So it's 4th and long. Georgia Tech will have to punt, and barring a catastrophe, Clemson should have pretty good field position.
On the punt, number 23, David Shanahan.
David Shanahan going to punt in the shadows of his own goalpost. And Green, number 24, back there for Clemson. It's a returnable punt at midfield. Green can be brought down at the 43-yard line. 1st and 10 from there for Klubnik. After that 36-yard punt, 6 on the return. The Tigers with good field position to start when we return. Cousin Janice Gaetan as well, who served in Desert Storm. It's my son, Shea Jones, by the way.
There you go.
1st down and 10 from the 42. Trips out to the top of your screen. Klubnik fires in traffic and batted down by Biggers as we go down Q.
Dabo proving to be the king of field position, the king of the clock, and the king of game management. So far in this game, they've run, what, 27 plays? Clemson has. I think 17 of those plays have been in Georgia Tech territory. They've got more than a 2-to-1 advantage in time of possession. He's going to win this game with defense and field position.
Those pads down low. As forward progress, going to give him about a 5-yard gain on the play.
See, there's one of those examples of the safeties. That time it was Clayton Powell-Lee, number 5, who had to come up and put the pads on big Phil Mafah. You're going to have to make that decision all game long, whether or not you want to keep doing that. Because those are the kind of choices that Phil Mafah makes you have to make. And the secondary is the strength of this Georgia Tech defense. In order for them to win this game, guys like Powell Lee have to play with some of the very best football.
They're down in 4. Under duress, Mafah couldn't make the catch. Good pressure up front by that Georgia Tech defensive line. And they're going to force a 4th and 4. That was Scott applying the pressure to Klubnik. I'll tell you what, one of the stories of the game so far is that defensive front, right?
It has been as good as I have seen it. In all of my film prep leading up to this game, this is the best I've seen Georgia Tech's defensive front play. Now they're going up against a Clemson offensive line that's banged up. A lot of starters missing, but they played some of their best football last week against Notre Dame. And now here we get another 4th down with Dabo deciding to go for it again.
They're 2 of 3 on 4th down. That fake punt, the only failure. Klubnik on the play fake. Caught and a 1st down. Still on his feet. Brennan Stool. Throw. Mafah. Oh, we hit him with the sauce. Mafah slides at the 9. 1st and goal. Man, he shook Andre White out of his cleats. Picked up 19, and they're up at the line already.
This is a nice job by Klubnik of keeping the play alive. Just going here now and just escaping out to the left, getting it to Mafah.
Mafah again between the tackles. His forward progress going to be marked at about the 7-yard line. Mafah moves pretty well in space.
Oh, he absolutely does. Now, I have to say, I was a little bit surprised by the end of that play. He was just coming into the Lions' den. There was about 3 Georgia Tech defenders who were waiting for him, and he kind of like went down on his own. I was surprised he didn't finish that with more physicality. You're going to see it right here. Look, these guys don't want to hit you, Phil. They don't want to hit you. Don't go down on your own.
He bailed them out a little, huh?
He sure did. I'm a little shocked by that. I think he'll make up for that, though.
2nd and 6. They can get to the 1, get a 1st down without a touchdown. At the 5, tightrope down the sidelines by Sapp. His father, Patrick, played in the NFL.
You can see him there. He's just trying to get that momentum stopped. But again, I like how Klubnik has kind of settled down and how Garrett Riley has called some plays, scheming some guys open, like on the shallow cross to Brennan Stool, getting the ball out on the perimeter to Mafah in the short passing game after not seeing anything downfield. They've called some shot plays down the field, settling in nicely.
Klubnik looking, firing. Oh, OBJ style. Touchdown. Tyler Brown.
That's as good as it gets.
That is OBJ style right there. Wow.
As good as it gets. Jalen King went to sleep, didn't hug up the coverage and stay alert on the play. Klubnik delivers a nice toss, soft pass, a touch pass. And if you're Klubnik right here, you're feeling it right now. You tell your guy Tyler Brown, go make a play, and he goes, you know what? Not only am I going to make a play, I'm going to be on SportsCenter highlights tonight with this one.
That's Tyler Brown with a big-time highlight reel catch a moment ago. Man, he just put some money on tape with that touchdown reception to put Clemson up 14-7. And Haynes King will have it at quarterback, 1st down and 10 from his own 25-yard line. 7:17 to go in the first half. One more look at the mid-air pyrotechnics, fireworks, and catch by Brown. Now, in the wake of that, something that sparks Clemson maybe a little bit. What does Georgia Tech have to do?
Yeah, I think Haynes King has to get going here now. Look, we said earlier for Clemson that they had to make sure he didn't become a runner. Right. I think Haynes has to start getting outside the pocket and creating some things. Take some more shots down the field. They had the wide receiver Singleton open early.
Oh, gaping hole. State inside the 40 down to the 33-yard line. That's how you answer and respond. Emphatically, a 40-yard gallop.
I mean, you see here, this offensive line, Brent Key has these guys playing, and now they're going hurry up, just trying to keep them pedal to the floor offensively.
They fake the jet sweep and give it to Jamal Haynes. This time, Jeremiah Trotter says, hey, I watched film too. Leader of that defense. Had a pick 6 last week against Notre Dame. Father played in the league for several years. One of the more impressive young men that you'll ever meet. Loss of 4 on the play.
The way this run game has ripped off some big explosive runs, you know the play action shot play again, trying to get Singleton open, is coming sooner or later.
They bring a little pressure on Haynes King. Steps up to meet it. Incomplete. Looked like that was in and out of the arms of Singleton. That's the second time that he let one slip.
If asking, you shall receive. That's exactly what they tried to do. They tried to run play action, pull the guard, and then get Singleton down the field on the post. If Haynes King puts that out there, puts some air on it, it's a touchdown. Perfect play call, perfect setup. Wow. Just didn't execute.
King is 2 of 6 passing for a yard. Play clock winding down, and Georgia Tech going to call a timeout.
Georgia Tech.
The decibel level here is deafening. Back after this. For Georgia Tech, after that missed opportunity, squandered a moment ago. 3rd and 14. Smith in the backfield. Haynes King going to keep it himself. Little or no gain on the play. Trotter has been all over the field today for Clemson. Eric Singleton a moment ago had an opportunity, or did he, Lewis?
Yeah, the explosives have been there for Eric Singleton. Here you see the post route earlier in the first quarter that just went through his hands. And then here, going up against the same defender, Nate Wiggins, the corner from Clemson, who may have obstructed his vision right at the catch point on that one. And if Haynes just leads him a little bit more into the end zone on the post, that's 2 chances for explosive plays. And Eric is one of the very best that they have, blazing downfield speed. They're going to have to hit those if they want to win this game.
Yeah, he's their leading receiver coming into the contest this afternoon. Fair catch by Green at the 8-yard line. Hey, tomorrow night on ESPN2 in the app, we have a women's college basketball triple dip for you. Maryland taking on Don Staley's South Carolina squad on ABC at 1 Eastern. Then it's UConn against North Carolina State at 3 Eastern. And we wrap it up on ESPN with Indiana versus Stanford at 5 o'clock Eastern time. Women's game is really something to invest in right now. So popular. And what about that game that South Carolina played against Notre Dame in Paris last week? Statman Steve LeBeau had a chance to make that trip.
Came right here from there.
Yeah. Did you get your gift yet?
Globetrotter. No, I didn't. I sure didn't.
1st and 10. They're going to keep it on the ground. Shipley looking very authoritative on that run. Close to the first down. King making the stop. Got 10. They'll move the chains.
Clemson making some adjustments on their offensive line. They got Mitchell Mays playing right guard now. Another freshman, Colin Sadler, who's usually the left tackle, playing left guard. Just mixing it up a little bit, trying to establish the line of scrimmage.
Under 5 minutes to go in the half. Klubnik gets it out quick, complete to the edge. That's Tyler Brown, who caught the touchdown a few moments ago. Picked up 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5. Sims on the tackle for Georgia Tech. And Sims is going to come out of the ball game. He was shaken up there. The secondary, and Sims in particular, one of the strengths of the Georgia Tech defense. He had an interception in the first quarter last week against Virginia. 2nd and 4. Shipley over the left side. Showed a nice burst. A dogmatic run and a gain of 12. And now for today's Aflac trivia question. Clemson has been bowl eligible in each of the last 24 seasons, which ties for the third longest active streak. What two teams have longer streaks? And another first down by Brown. Got any answers there, partner?
I sure don't. Not right now, because you know what? I'm too enamored with what Garrett Riley is trying to get going with this offense. And you see the tempo is right now really picking up, and the guys are gaining confidence. Tyler Brown, you just saw on that little bubble screen, shot out of a cannon. Shipley running the ball with authority.
Klubnik delivering a strike complete to Randall. And Randall got about 6+ on the play.
You know, confidence breeds momentum. Momentum just puts the opposition on its heels. And right now, that's how Clemson kind of has this Georgia Tech defense. Someone for Georgia Tech's going to need to step up. They've been great at forcing turnovers. We know Clemson has struggled with them, especially with fumbles. Somebody on Georgia Tech needs to make a play here.
On 2nd and 4, Klubnik with a pump fake. Delivers another strike at the 33. Caught by Bo Collins. First down and a flag down as well.
An 18-yard pickup. First down Tigers in the 26.
We might have a lineman downfield.
Ineligible player downfield. Offense, number 50. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
That play negated. Let's answer the Aflac trivia question for you.
The clock will start on the snap.
Clemson's been bowl eligible each of the last 24 seasons, ties third longest active streak. What two teams? Okay. Boise State.
I can see it.
Love to. And there's a sack by Efford. Kyle Efford came with some smoke. Great effort.
It's a nice job on the linebacker fire, just sending 5, trying to put some pressure on Cade Klubnik, make him speed up his decision-making process.
They turned him loose.
They sure did. Now this is a big third down here for Georgia Tech. There's a possibility of maybe getting the ball with some good field position. You got to make sure you get off the field here, play sound fundamentals in the back end. Don't let anything get behind you.
Looking at 3rd and 18.
Heck, this may be 2-down territory with the way Dabo's been going for it on 4th down.
Klubnik going to pass. And now tucks it and runs it. Klubnik hit and brought down at about the 41. And that's going to set up a... Let's see where they spot it.
They're going for this.
Yeah. 4th and short.
Hey, we ain't punting today.
Yeah,
not today.
4th and 7.
And you know what? That's just inexcusable on the part of Georgia Tech. You cannot rush 4 and let a guy like Cade Klubnik on 3rd and forever get out of there like that.
Let's go back to the studio.
Capital One halftime report just minutes away. Kevin Nagani alongside Booger McFarland. Alabama cruising. We've got highlights with Jalen Milroe. But right now, Penn State's offense just found the end zone, Boog.
Yeah, no doubt. Starting to run the football a little bit. Both teams struggling throwing the ball, but the running game has been paramount for both teams so far.
Again, no Jim Harbaugh. Michigan right now with the lead 14-10. Highlights coming your way. Let's go back to you, Mark.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. You know, it's interesting. Coach Sweeney was telling us about Klubnik, how the running element at that position is something that they haven't had out of him this year, looking to develop that, and that Cade's elite, his good is elite, his bad can be catastrophic. Yeah, he's been kind of in the middle today, right?
He sure has. Actually, he's been to the right a little bit as far as being almost pretty darn good here as far as his decision making. He's got 2 touchdowns, 130 yards passing so far. He's been good with his decisions. You see there, he pulled the ball down, got outside.
4th and short. Shipley bouncing it for the first down, and Shipley tackled at about the 32-yard line. They moved the chains. With 91 seconds to go in the first half, a gain of 9.
And what did Dabo tell us about Will Shipley? He said, look, he's going to show you something. Yeah. He's going to show you something. He's motivated today. And he has kind of sparked this offense along with improved play on the offensive line.
Gives them a lot of versatility. Running it inside the 20, Shipley. Lunging. Touchdown, Tigers.
You didn't forget about him. And you're just going to see right here, the block by Putnam. And you're going to see Shipley just hit this gap right here that opens up. Georgia Tech's front is stunting. And you see there, it just opens naturally for him, along with the good block by the center Putnam. And then from there, Shipley does the rest.
Great effort to extend that football. His 4th rushing touchdown of the season, 30th of his career. Feels like a big score nearing the end of the first half for the Tigers.
Big time. If you see, they kind of took some momentum away from Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech had the possibility where they could have put a touchdown on the board if Singleton makes that catch. They don't punch it in. Will Shipley makes them pay.
9 plays, 92 yards, 4:10 on the clock. And the Tigers now with 52 consecutive games with a touchdown on the ground. It was interesting when you look at the big picture for the Tigers, facing a lot of adversity this year. And I say just, 5-4 coming in, but Dabo telling us that, hey, you know, this has given him an opportunity to coach in a way that he hasn't had an opportunity before, and it's giving him vibes of 2010 when they lost 5 games by 6 points or fewer. And set up a successful year afterwards.
Dabo said, if you want to buy Clemson stock, now's the time.
We'll be back in 8 seconds. Now a look from Ram Trucks.
Ram Trucks, built to serve.
.109 to go here in the first half. A couple of 5-4 teams in search of bowl eligibility.
I will say this. I want you to keep this in mind about this Georgia Tech football team. They were down 21-7 in North Carolina as well in the second quarter, about 9 minutes left, and they came back in that game and poured it on North Carolina. Don't count this Georgia Tech team out. It's a much different team now, of a much different type of resolve, especially with the playmaking ability they have offensively. So this game is far from over.
From the 29.
Timeout. Clemson. Their second of the half. 30-second timeout.
Big win last week for Clemson, and here's what Coach Sweeney had to say in the wake of it.
But the one thing that has shown up every week is the heart and the fight of Clemson. And I know we're down and everybody's throwing dirt on us, but if Clemson's a stock, you better buy all you freaking can buy right now. Let's go.
I'm going to hire you for my money manager. Are you buying or selling?
Yeah, man, like I said at the beginning, I'm buying. Look, I like how they're building this program. They have got some studs in all the right places along the offensive and defensive lines. They've got playmakers in the secondary, a bunch of young guys, you know, at defensive back with Khalil Barnes, Kylan Griffin. They need some playmakers on the perimeter. Now, that's for sure. At wide receiver, they will get Antonio Williams back. They already have Tyler Brown, the freshman. You saw him make a highlight reel catch here. And they got to get Cade Klubnik even better. They got to develop him another year next year. But there's no way is Clemson dead. Absolutely not.
21-0 run as we get ready to head into the locker room. Put a period on this first half. 2-yard gain on the play by Haynes. And in a blink, that successful rushing game that Georgia Tech had going early has been muted a little bit.
30-second timeout.
Clemson calls timeout.
Buying the dip, baby. Buying the dip. This is a blue chip stock. And, you know, after spending time in their facility on this campus, you realize why. I think the narrative externally is that, you know, Dabo not getting involved in the transfer portal, it is something that's going to hold this program back. But the more you dig, they haven't lost any players. So their recruiting classes are elite, and no one is leaving this program. You've got happy student athletes. And so he hasn't really begun that cycle of the portal. So it'll be interesting to see how that matures over the next 3 to 5 years.
And look, and Quinn, he pointed out to us, look, he's had some players. He's gone after some players in the portal. But he can't make them come here. And sometimes they don't want to come here because they aren't losing any players. And so they figured, where's our opportunity?
Dante Smith in the backfield on 3rd and 4. Smith on the call. He'll get the first down and make it out to the 39-yard line. 50 seconds to go, 8-yard gain.
You know, the undercurrent of this game for Georgia Tech offensively is what you've seen is they have some explosive capabilities running the football. They haven't turned it loose yet in the passing game.
Oh, picked off. They tried to, Lewis.
And there's a problem.
And got picked. Khalil Barnes. So Clemson with an opportunity to get some more points before the end of the half.
This is one of those freshmen that I said was a reason why you want to buy stock in Clemson football. And you watch here, watch the safety, Khalil Barnes. This guy can play nickel corner. He can play free safety, strong safety. And watch him just break and drive on this ball and come up with the interception. He's one of the reasons, along with T.J. Parker, Peter Woods, why Dabo still feels as though the best is yet to come. They're about to take off again. He believes, just like they did years ago when they went on those college football playoff runs and those national championship runs. He feels they're on the cusp of doing that again.
See if they take a shot here after the turnover. That was the first pick by Barnes this year. Underneath. Bo Collins makes the catch. Efford makes the tackle. On 2nd and 5. Klubnik thought about it and going to do it himself. He'll pick up the first down at the 30.
It's a nice job on the part of Klubnik of getting out of bounds. Don't have any timeouts left here. See if we can tack on some more points, at least three more on the board here before halftime. See Dabo talking there to Garrett Riley, the offensive coordinator, about managing this clock, making sure the play calls fit with the amount of time that's left and the fact that they don't have any timeouts left.
Tyler Brown in motion, now sets in the slot. He picked up the pressure. Klubnik. And stops the clock with 7 seconds to go. Keep in mind, Jonathan White's the place kicker. Has range around 52 yards. Robert Gunn is the longer distance field goal kicker of the two.
It'll be about a 47-yarder from here.
They're going to send in Jonathan White's here. Career long of 41, 7 of 11 on the season. This one from 47 yards out. They're going to try and put him on ice.
Prior to the snap, timeout, Georgia Tech.
And Georgia Tech burns one of its 2 remaining timeouts, and there's so many great things to see on campus here at Clemson University, like my partner did. Took a look at the hill for the first time. What were your impressions?
Well, my impression was I'm going to walk down this thing, that's for sure. I'm not going to run down it.
You disappointed me, man.
Yeah, I mean, you see here, man, and when we came out here yesterday, you know, I'm a sucker for all this kind of stuff, for the tradition and the pageantry of college football. It was my first time being here for a game. I've been down here before to speak to the football team, and I just love to take it in, man. I love to take in the colors, the stadiums, and as you see here, I'm walking down.
I wanted the sprint.
Walking. I'm celebrating, but I'm walking.
More from you.
But no, this is a great venue, an absolutely stunning venue. You get a chance to come down here for a game, you got to do it.
From 47 yards, White hit it fat and short. And that's going to be the end of the first half of play. Unable to capitalize on the interception.
And that makes all the difference. And that's something that Dabo has been preaching all season long. So far, so good in the first half.
And they're going to have it 1st and 10 from their own 25 to start here. Shipley wants to go over his head. Mark Jones, Lewis Riddick, Quinn Kesnick down on the field joining us in just a moment. Shipley came back to action this week, and he's made a big impact on this team.
His competitiveness is absolutely shining through. It sparked the team when they put him in there. You can see he's running with authority. He's running like he's trying to prove something. He's running like somebody who was doubted maybe after the game that Phil Mafah had last week.
Phil Mafah in the backfield here to start the 3rd quarter. There's a look at some of the cogent numbers from the first half. They're going to keep it on the ground here. Mafah with a gain of about 2 on the play. Mafah with his 10th rush of the ball game, averaging just under 3 yards per. Shipley joins him in the backfield here on 2nd down and 8.
This is an important drive for Georgia Tech. You want to come out and you want to start fast. You want to get the ball back in the hands of your offense. I mean, think about this. Haynes King has 1 yard passing so far. 1. Uno.
2nd and 8. Klubnik gets it out complete. Out to the 43-yard line. Bo Collins with the 1st down. Quinn?
Dabo Swinney most impressed with Cade Klubnik's ability to improvise, to take off and run. It's something they've encouraged him to do all season. Today, in general, he's shown really good pocket presence and the ability to burst down the field. He's got, I think, 30 yards rushing. Second thing from Coach Swinney, we're going to stay aggressive, whether it's a fake punt. They're 4 for 5 on 4th down, and Shipley takes his swing pass. Coach, I don't know whether it's the camo or not, or what, Jonesy, but Dabo felt like he's just in a very aggressive mood today. He's going for it.
He's got all the ordnance and weaponry that he needs, including Shipley, who picked up 9 back in the lineup.
You want to talk about aggressiveness? You see what Will Shipley just did to Miles Brooks out there on that little swing?
About something there.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, that's all good. I didn't see the end of the play, if he's okay or not.
Here's Mafah taking care of business while Shipley's on the sideline down to the 40. Let's take one more look at what is Shipley so incensed and irate on the sidelines.
You see him right there just run over the safety. Oh, he took a shot to the side of the head. You know, he'd been dealing with a concussion before. That's what caused him to miss the Notre Dame game.
Wow.
And that's I think we may have missed a targeting opportunity right there. That was a big-time shot. I was caught up in how aggressive he finished the run.
Mafah this time picks up about 1 yard on the play. Kennard made the tackle for Georgia Tech. One more look at it.
You see him there. He runs over Brooks. That's targeting.
Yeah, effort was there on the hit.
That's targeting. That's
all the boxes.
That's a big-time miss, especially if Will Shipley cannot go back into this game. You see them checking him out here on the sideline.
He knew it, too. Maybe that will cause a reaction.
Absolutely.
Mafah going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage by Zeke Biggers. Man, he has been ubiquitous today. Goal line to goal line all over the field.
I mean, look, when we talked to defensive coordinator Kevin Scherr, and I brought up Zeke Biggers' name, I said, look, when he has it tuned up, this guy's unstoppable. He said that's absolutely right. But you know what? That's how players go from being average to good, good to great. The consistency. If he can tap into some consistency, he's got a future. A bright future.
It's Mafah on the backfield. Klubnik batted down at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. 4th and 11. We've had Clemson go for it on 4th down 4 times already. Well, the good news is Shipley has his helmet back at least. This is in wake of the last hit.
I think he knew that he had gotten targeted. He knew he took a shot to the head. And you see how ticked off he is when he sees the replay on the board.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Clemson going to punt it here. And going to be a touchback. 41 yards on the punt. Shipley being checked out by the athletic training staff there. One more look at why he's being checked out.
That's a vicious hit. I mean, that's big time, especially for someone who's trying to come back from concussion.
Ball replaces the 20-yard line.
You can understand his frustration.
No doubt. No doubt.
Right there.
Yeah, if you watch the NC State game when he had that collision down out by the goal line, it was as vicious as you'll ever see. He got spun backwards and got hit in like the back of the head. Scary injury. Was in concussion protocol, as you said, Lewis. There was some concern that his neck had to be, improved in order to play, and did not play last week. But that brings up a case like that. Can't review that for targeting. In the NFL, that could warrant a fine, correct?
Absolutely.
Well, he's such a key part of their attack. Saw what he's added already today, being back on the field. Lost the one on the last play. King back to pass. Had it batted down to the line of scrimmage by Terrell. And it'll be 3rd down and 11.
This Clemson defense continues to bottle up Haynes King and not allow him to get out on the edges and use that downfield speed.
Stands in, fires, and it is going to be caught by Blaylock. Or incomplete, pardon me. Looked as if they ruled completion, but it's incomplete. Intended for Blaylock.
This is a nice throw and catch here by Haynes to Blaylock. You see him right there. Oh, he missed it. Okay, I couldn't see it from our angle, from our vantage point. He's looking at it on our replay system up here in the box. But another good job by Clemson defense.
High snap. And as they began to stray. Marion Reeves roar in 1970, the first they ever saw. 4 years later, Benny marked his domain with All-American fame. The refrigerator, well, let's just say the door was open for a snack. D-Hop was that feline that would never be tame. These next two were the prodigal leaders of the pack. Deshaun had skills and flair. Trevor had skills and hair. So many greats through the doors at Clemson University through the years, pass complete. The Brennan Stool. Fridge is my favorite. But I go back to like the days of Perry Tuttle.
Oh, yeah.
Some greats here at Clemson.
And Marion Reeves, Irmo, South Carolina, 1971, known for his 2 interceptions in the rivalry game against South Carolina, wearing that 38 jersey, playing defensive back. His impact was just a major step, breaking down barriers here. 1970, the strength to push through and ignore those who are resistant to change. Benny Cunningham, I remember watching play for Terry Bradshaw and the Steelers.
Yes.
Some great teams, and he was a baller. Benny Cunningham was a great tight end, 2-time All-American, 17 touchdowns. I remember him rambling into the end zone for the Steelers as a pro, wearing number 89.
Unbelievable players.
Yeah,
they just keep coming out.
They have a lot of history here. A lot of great history. I remember Benny Cunningham as well. This school right now, and I'll tell you what, spinning it forward to the future, they've got a bright future. Great facilities down here, great program.
This guy might be next. Mafah with the first down. Down to the 23. Picked up 17 on the week.
See it just continue to run behind the right side of this offensive line. You're going to see Mafah just hit it right off him, pull the backside guard and tackle. Those power plays and counters are starting to work.
Get it out quickly, complete to Brown on the edge. Ran right through and around a couple of defenders. Brooks is there to make the stop. But a pickup of 13. And this offense right now has some momentum and rhythm.
And the reason why you hear me laugh is the fact that Tyler Brown goes from 0 to 100 like that. That's acceleration. You know it when you see it. And Tyler Brown has it. As soon as he caught the ball, his first 2 steps, top speed. You see it right here. Watch this. Hit the gas and go, baby. Split the defenders. That's what gets Dabo excited. That's what gets me excited.
Halftime, moments to go, honoring those who continue to serve in our military around the world on Veterans Day. First and goal, Tigers. Mafah set to the left of Klubnik. Takes the handoff between the tackles and is going to pick up a hard-earned 3 on the play. Second and goal coming up. And Shipley going to come back into the ballgame, which is a good sign for Clemson.
Absolutely. Very good sign. That was a heck of a shot that he took. Man. You figure you're not bringing him in there just to be a decoy. They're going to try and get the ball to him in some way, shape, or form. They had hit and Mafah, I believe, in the backfield.
Brown split wide to the bottom of your screen. Number 6 going to keep it on the ground to Shipley. And he's going to be stopped up right around the 5, maybe a little bit shy of the 5. Third and goal coming up.
Bringing the receivers back in. You got Brennan Stool coming back in the game. Tyler Brown coming back in the game. They already went to Bo Collins once in a one-on-one situation. They have him here into the short side of the field at the top of the screen. Number 80 goes 6'3", 210 pounds.
Little back shoulder action.
Yeah, you never know. But they got a safety sitting over there.
Third and goal. Klubnik looks the other way. Left. Fires. Caught in traffic. Brennan Stool.
That is a heck of a throw.
It had steam on it.
Oh, look, Georgia Tech played drop 8. They dropped 8 into coverage, in the zone coverage, and he fit it in a window that was about maybe 6 inches wide, maybe. That may be one of the best throws Cade Klubnik has had so far this year.
Caps a 7-play, 52-yard drive. Clipsing about 3.5 minutes on the clock. 28-7. Let's take one more look at his 3rd touchdown pass of the day.
Just going to see here, Brennan Stool is going to come up here. You're going to see this. Watch this ball just come right into this window. Watch him throw this and get it right past the 8th dropper's hand on that little tight end post. You can see it here, just go right past the linebacker, Oliver, who almost gets a hand on it, but he has to fit that in there with timing and accuracy.
Might be his best throw of the year.
No question. Yeah. No question about it. You can tell that he is gaining confidence right now.
His good is elite, and I think that throw exemplified the good in him. I spoke to him this week, Lewis, and I was amazed. He said, I'm a better leader at 5-4 than I would have been at 8-1 or 9-0. Trying to turn all the negatives and all the mistake-filled season into a positive. And I do think that he's shown tremendous growth as a leader.
Well, oftentimes, as we all know, however you want to articulate it, we all experience some kind of growth through struggle, and he is experiencing that growth because it's been a trying season for him in particular.
Look at the respective numbers on the 2 quarterbacks today.
Is that amazing?
Tilted heavily in Klubnik's favor for now. Haynes King's squad down 3 touchdowns. King complete. Forward progress going to be at about the 27-28. Singleton hung on to that for a 3-yard gain.
You know, I know it's only a 3-yard gain, but that's huge right there for Eric Singleton. He has to see the ball go through the hoop, so to speak, and actually finish a catch. It was a great route. He is a fantastic, fantastic freshman that is going to be heard from for many more years at Georgia Tech. And the 2 drops that he has had or missed fires with Haynes King on deep balls could have changed the whole complexion of this game.
On 2nd and 7. King in trouble. Sacked back at the 19. DeMonte Capehart with the sack.
This is just a combination of Xavier Thomas rushing upfield on the speed rush. King has to step up, and then what happens when quarterbacks step up? That's when the interior pass rushers go, thank you very much. You're running him right to me. That's tandem pass rushing. You get the high upfield push by the speed rushers on the edge, push the pocket inside.
Haynes King in the pocket. Wow, stayed on his feet and delivered a strike out to the 32, complete to Leary. But it's going to be 4th down nonetheless. King did a great job just to get out of trouble. An 11-yard pickup. And in comes the punt team.
That time it was the fabulous freshman. It was Peter Woods, T.J. Parker that were trying to go a little bit of tandem action and see if they can get another sack. It has been a rough day for Haynes King as far as his ability to navigate the pocket and get the ball down the field.
Sure has had Green back for the punt. Fair catch at the 29-yard line. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, keep in mind that this league, the ACC, is going to be interesting. A lot of time in the air for these teams to study. Klubnik has been putting in a lot of study. Got picked. Got intercepted on the play by Jalen King, who obviously studied film this week. If you're a big break for Georgia Tech.
If you're a little bit behind on those crossers and those intermediate crossers, what's going to happen is the DB is going to undercut it. You're going to see him here. He slingshots himself past and watch. He's on top. Now I'm just going to slip underneath. That's an NFL caliber interception right there by Jalen King. That's as good as it is. Now, you put that ball out ahead of Brittenstool a little bit further. Maybe you can complete that, or maybe it's just a PBU. That's how you make a play if you're a DB. That's the first turnover for the day for Klubnik, and the first one generated by Georgia Tech.
One King with the interception. Haynes King hands it off to his tailback. Dante Smith, good tackle by Barnes. Boy, one of those talented freshmen Coach Sweeney is counting on for future years here. It's a big-time play.
Yeah, Khalil had the great interception earlier in the first half. It's a tremendous movement skills, open field tackling skills, positional versatility. The building block.
2nd and 13. This is Smith. Smith with a nice gain. Hey, kick off your Week 10 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown crew on ESPN and the app. They'll preview each game right up to kickoff. Monday Night Football crew will be in Orchard Park, New York. Russell Wilson of the Broncos taking on Josh Allen and Buffalo. 8 Eastern, ABC, Deportes, ESPN, Peyton and Eli once again on ESPN2. Pass complete to Eric Singleton, who picks up the first down.
Finally able to pop one of those wide receiver rocket screens. Nice block there by the tight end. Brent Seither getting out there and blocking the end man on the line of scrimmage so Singleton can get the ball upfield. And you saw that speed. The game-breaking speed of Eric Singleton.
From the 27. They're going to lose a bunch of yards here. Good tackle in the backfield by McLeod. And Smith, loss of 5.
This is the 2nd and long situations that Clemson puts you in now that just makes it so difficult as an offense to keep the momentum going. And what's the play call for 2nd and 15 against this defense? It's got to get this to 3rd and manageable.
We're about to find out here. Haynes King, the transfer from Texas A&M, chose Georgia Tech over Arizona State when in the portal. Had time and intercepted at the 7-yard line by Terrell. Avion Terrell with the interception.
Going on the field is an interception. First down, Clemson.
That is such a good job of playing the double move by the freshman, Avion Terrell. Look, we didn't get to see it here, but he tried to run a stutter go, which means he chops his feet, try to get the DB to settle, and then take off again. And Avion Terrell said, I ain't having it. You're not getting me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to stay on top of this route so I can turn into you and find the football.
Singleton scored a touchdown on a stutter and go last week.
Exactly. That is as good as it. Look, this is another freshman along with Khalil Barnes. Kylan Griffin, who I don't believe we've seen on the field yet, another safety slash corner, along with the defensive linemen that they have that are so young. Yeah, buy the stock, folks. Buy the stock.
A couple of interceptions in this quarter. Shipley out to the 12, got 4.
I mean, here it is. You see it in full. Watch him. He's like, no, you're not getting me on that. I saw you run that last week. So now I'm on top of you. I don't have to like try and pin you to the sideline with my back. I'll turn into you and just make the interception. Textbook. I'm sure his brother is somewhere. A.J. Terrell.
No doubt. 2nd and 6.
Watching that.
Mafah with the first down. Still on his feet. Straight on. Out to the 48. Mafah moving the chains. 36 yards.
You just see the left side of the offensive line again where they're getting the double teams and then pulling the offside guard and tackle. That's what they've been getting to here in the second half and trying to impose their will, and it's starting to break some of these big runs.
Now up to almost 6 yards per carry. Most of them coming right there. Out to the edge quickly to Randall. Into Georgia Tech territory. Lockett made the stop. Hey, this season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, Allstate will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. Thank you, Allstate. 1st and 10 from the 47. Pardon me, 2nd down. Phil Mafah in the backfield. Patiently behind that offensive line. Somebody lost their hat. Mafah moving that pile, Lewis, about 3 yards. When you're 230 plus, it'd be like that.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was center Will Putnam whose helmet came off, and that was because you had a Georgia Tech defensive lineman go with a hands to the face move and rip the helmet off.
3rd and short coming up. On the pass, incomplete, dropped by Brendan Stool. Sets up 4th and short. Here's how Putnam lost his hat, though.
Yeah, you're going to see him right there.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's obvious foul, obvious violation. And then on the 3rd down calls, nice play call. Another shot there. Putnam getting his lid taken off. In the 3rd down play, I tell you, look, they had Brendan Stool wide open. It was a great play call on the part of Garrett Riley.
4th and short coming up. They've already gone for it several times today.
You can go for it on 4th and 7 in your own territory. You're definitely going to a 4th and short on the plus 44.
All season long, student sections across the country are competing to be the Taco Bell Live Más Student Section of the Year. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more.
The clock will start on the snap.
Wow. 44.
Dabo taking his foot off the gas, huh?
What about that? They went for it on 4th and 7 at one point. I want to know who's doing the math on these analytics. Nose of the football down for Hunter Swanson. And 1st and 10 from there for this Georgia Tech offense, which has been arrhythmic and impotent since the, well, first 7 minutes of this football game when they looked like they were going to do big things on the afternoon, Lewis.
Yeah, I just think it's the drop by Singleton early on has just kind of really been something that has lingered over the passing game. That in conjunction with the pass rush of Clemson, they pop some big runs, but they just can't get anything going consistently. No rhythm whatsoever.
25 seconds to go in the quarter, and not much doing for Jamal Haynes. Brought down by Peter Woods. Woods, Parker, Arroyo, and Thomas really making a statement today.
These guys just play at such a mature level between Woods and T.J. Parker. Some instinctive reading blocking schemes. Man.
The guys in purple looking like those old purple people. Presented by USAA. Back to the start of the fourth quarter. Mark Jones, Lewis Riddick, Quinn Kesselnick down on the field. 2nd and 11 for Haynes King. And he's picked off again. Kylan Griffin with the INT.
Mark, this is another one of them freshmen. Okay, this is why you're buying the stock. Remember that. That's why you're buying the stock in Clemson football. Watch where this young man comes from. Watch him read Haynes King as a middle-of-the-field defender and just take off and leave his shoes to make that pick. Now, you've got him, freshman, Khalil Barnes, freshman, Avion Terrell, freshman, Peter Woods, freshman, T.J. Parker, freshman. They're loaded. They're loaded with 18-year-olds that right now are growing up before your eyes. You think Clemson ain't going to be a school to be heard from over the next couple of years? You know they're going to be. It's just a matter of time.
See if they take a shot here after the pick. Shipley motions out of the backfield. Bad pass behind him. And moments ago, Q caught up with Coach Sweeney.
Coach, how would you best describe the play of your defense?
That's been awesome. You know, they settled in. First half, they spent a couple runs on us on some misfits, but they're playing great, man. They've played great all year, really, and but they've just gotten better and better. And you see our young players emerging. What a great play by Avion Terrell. You know, Shelton Lewis, 2 true freshmen out there. Barnes with an interception. You know, 2 of the best plays you're going to see probably all year came from freshmen. A one-handed interception and a one-handed touchdown by Tyler Brown. Just proud of them. Wish we could have finished that last drive, but guys are playing hard. They're playing tough. Got to finish.
Well, you can add that last freshman interception to the reel as well. Got a flag down on that play.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 97. Half the distance to the goal from the end of the run. First down.
It's just been relentless all game long. Haynes King has not had any room to breathe. He can't break the perimeter and get outside on the edge because there's just too much speed here with this pass rush. And we said early on one of the keys would be to eliminate Haynes King as a runner, and they've done that, and then they've picked him off. It's just been a nightmare day.
Mafah with the throwback. Klubnik dropped it. Oh, they ran the QB special. And Klubnik, well, the throw might have been a little bit low. Have to see that again. Yeah, he tapped his chest, said, my bad.
Yeah, he just didn't have a good hold of it.
Oh, man. And
he saw them pass rushers bearing down on him, too. He's like, yo, speed it up, speed it up. Cade's like, what do you do?
Oh, man. If he led him a little bit better, that was 6. 2nd and 10 as a result from the 13. Into the end zone. Incomplete. Henry, the intended receiver, 3rd and 10 coming up. And a play like that, when Mafah couldn't quite pass it accurately enough, those aren't ones you can call up like on the next play.
No, you usually don't repeat those. When he comes off to the side, you go, well, you had your chance.
Yep. Two receivers out to the top of your screen. Mafah motions out of the backfield. Klubnik over the middle. Touchdown, sack.
Cade Klubnik. When he's elite, he's elite. He can make throws like this. And when he's making throws like this, the freshman, that's why you buy low. Because your stock is going up. You're going to make some money in the future. And so is Cade Klubnik.
That's Monday, January 8th. This is November the 11th. Veterans Day, one to remember for Cade Klubnik and Clemson. Putting them things on Georgia Tech right now as we go back to the studio.
Mark, AT&T keeping fans connected as we take a look at our multi-view, which is showcasing a bunch of great games, events across our networks. Alabama in control right now over on ESPN late in the third quarter. Tulane and Tulsa over on ESPN2. Remember, Tulane, highest ranked group of 5 right now, just a 5-point lead. Yale and Princeton, the 145th meeting. Right now, we're tied at 14 apiece. Early parts of the fourth quarter on ESPNU. Back to you.
Right, from the 25, 1st and 10, Haynes King pulls it out and keeps it. Here. Lewis, your son, a big hoop fan, right? You going to be watching? Oh, who is he? A Kentucky, Michigan State guy?
He's a UNC fan right now. He's a North Carolina fan, but he can be swayed. Okay. He's only 12. He can be swayed.
We can fix that.
He's going to be watching a lot of basketball. He loves hooping. Loves it. I love watching him do it.
It's that time of the year. Haynes King complete. Oh, incomplete. Broken up at the last minute. Intended for Dominic Blaylock, who, speaking of basketball, is the son of former NBA player Mookie Blaylock.
And the PBU made by number 14 Shelton Lewis. You see him there grabbing his back. Another freshman. Wow.
Fourth and 7. They'll punt. And they're going to take the punt and throw it. They gave it a shot. Is it caught? Yes, and the spot is right at the first down marker, perhaps beyond, and a first down. Eric Singleton
on the field
threw the pass to Avery Boyd.
Make the line to gain. First down.
Hey, for what it's worth, Lewis, a little atonement and retribution for Singleton.
Yeah, I think at this point, you're just pulling out all the stops. You see it right there. Nice job by Boyd of keeping his concentration and getting that ball past the first down mark.
First and 10, King complete to Singleton. Brought down for a gain of about a yard.
Tackled by number 36, Will Barnes.
Haynes King, the son of a football coach. His dad, John, 6A state championship coach in Longview, Texas. He's the president of the High School Coaches Association. Worked with noted quarterback coach and guru Jeff Christensen. Incomplete down the sidelines, intended for Boyd. Sets up a third down and 9.
It's a nice route by Avery Boyd on that stop route, trying to hit him back shoulder in one-on-one coverage against these DBs that right now are just playing press man and going, hey, it's mano a mano. Haynes just got to put that on him.
Play clock at 10. King behind his receiver and incomplete, intended for Chase Lane.
It's basically the same route, different receiver. This time it's Lane instead of Avery Boyd. Again, clean pocket miss. Haynes King just off a little bit today.
4th and 9, they're going for it again, as you would expect. King picked off, and this could be a pick 6. Shelton Lewis, happy Veterans Day. That one's for you.
And now he's going to try and throw it to the wide side. And watch the corner. Watch Shelton Lewis. He barely even backpedals. Look at him. He's kind of walking out of there because he's just reading it. He's just sitting on it. He knows what's coming. And I don't know if that's a miscommunication on the part of wide receiver and Haynes King, but the freshman goes, hey, look, I'll take that. How about the turnover differential today? It's in their favor, and coincidentally,
the freshman takeover has begun in earnest. If you don't believe me, here's the video evidence. Run, young men.
It was originally an agricultural and military school back in the 1890s. Over 10,000 former students have served in the armed forces, and today has been a day-long celebration of their service. Clemson's worn their purple jerseys. They wear them once a year. There's a tie-in to the Purple Heart, which is a military decoration. You've seen the ROTC students in the end zone, and during stoppages, they've honored all sorts of former war heroes and active service members.
It's been a great day. With that as the backdrop, through Q, great report. 1st and 10. Georgia Tech from their own 25-yard line, down 42-7. A win today for Clemson. They become bowl eligible. Big time hit by Woodaz. No gain on the play. We talked about the military tradition here at Clemson. I'll tell you about another one. The Esso Club. No trip to Clemson is complete without a trip to the Esso Club. And I'm still getting the getting the grease out of my system. The food is good. It was deep fried.
So you missed dinner last night, man.
I know. I missed it. Haynes King trying to eat. What a catch down to the 45 by Christian Leary. Got spun around. His forward progress going to get him a gain of about 7 yards. Jamal Haynes, an interesting story, a former wide receiver. Wore number 34 growing up. Why, you ask? Well, not because of the great Walter Payton or Craig Ironhead Hayward, but who was an Atlanta Falcon and grew up in the era. His mom wore number 11, playing for the Atlanta Explosion of the now defunct Independent Women's Football League. Mom was his numerical inspiration as he picks up a first down.
He has been a fun player to watch. At just 5'9", 180 pounds, he runs like he's 215, 220 pounds. Game-breaking speed. Has some great plays on tape so far this year. And has had some really good runs here today.
Yeah, feeding him again on 1st and 10. Picked up about 2. Brought down by Creighton. So we approach 10.5 minutes to go. Georgia Tech going quick here. A stark contrast. One quarterback has thrown 4 touchdowns. The other one 4 interceptions.
Did not see it happening that way coming into this game.
King completes it to Dante Smith, still on his feet, and Smith will score. .32 yards on the catch and run for Dante Smith, the 5'11" senior.
Those are the kind of plays you come to expect out of the Georgia Tech running backs, and both Dante Smith and Jamal Haynes. These guys are explosive once they get out in space, get a lot of yardage after initial contact. Great contact balance. You see the stiff arm right there, and then turns on the jets.
Extra point good, and it's 42-14. A little over 10 minutes to go. This is the first full year as head coach for Brent Key. A daunting task ahead for him when we come back. Always interesting despite the rankings and stats going in.
Indeed.
I wouldn't mind another wide left or wide right. Onside kick coming. Boy, great hands at midfield. Good catch by Hannafin. 1st and 10 from there. You know, we had Clemson coming in at 5-4, and they've talked about the fact outside of a couple of poorly timed turnovers, not that there's ever a good time for it, this could be a very different season for them. Hunter Helms coming in now at quarterback. 6'2" senior. Grad student from Columbia, South Carolina. Dominique Thomas in the backfield. Gets it out, and it's incomplete at the 45, intended for Hannafin.
And you were talking about that turnover differential for Clemson. Look, we know at every level of football how coaches preach protecting the football, because it can change everything. It's a stats negator, meaning you turn the football over, you can move the football up and down the field. You turn it over in scoring territory like Clemson has done repeatedly, multiple games. Duke, Miami, it's happened to them. Can make everything that you do count for nothing because of the fact that you just give it back to the other team.
Now here's Thomas. Weaving his way to about the 43, got 7. Dominique Thomas, 6'10" junior, 5'8" junior. Transfer from Union College in Kentucky.
Now that Dominique Thomas is in the game, we saw some runs that he had last week against Notre Dame. Another load, a guy who has great center of gravity, built low to the ground.
Got a chance here.
You see it.
Put his hat down and took on the defender. Flag back at the 42.
He is not scared. You see them arms? You see them triceps when he's flexing? He is not scared.
Yesterday was an arm day for him, it looked like.
Holding. Offense number 72. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Productive day, stats-wise, for Cade Klubnik. Out of Austin, Texas, 23 of 35, 4 touchdowns, and had that one pick, the only blemish.
For an injured defensive player.
The player shaken up on the field. And a subsequent timeout. Wallace walking off the field. Let's take a look at the All-State playoff predictor.
Shaking up for Georgia Tech.
Okay, look at some of the percentages. Any of those numbers make an impression on you one way or the other?
No, only because, well,
Washington should be higher.
Yeah, they should be. Yeah. They're a good football team, and unfortunately, we haven't been able to see them live. I'd love to see them live this year. We've seen Florida State twice. We know what they bring to the table, how fantastic Jordan Travis is. Michigan sending a message today, up there in Happy Valley. Ohio State just continues to roll. Texas there in the mix. It's going to be fun down the stretch.
Well, play fake. Helms going to take off. Good legs. Picked up the 1st down. He's charged up. He's in. Hunter Helms picks up 16, and look at Klubnik. Love seeing teammates enjoy other teammates' success.
This is someone who Dabo probably really identifies with, considering the fact that Hunter started as a walk-on. Dabo was a walk-on as a player. A guy who has built everything that he's ever gotten from the ground up. You'd like guys having success like that.
No doubt. Here's Thomas again, bouncing it to the outside. A straight arm on Miles Brooks. Nice run there. Have a look at it by Helms.
Did you see it?
They'll be high-fiving each other in film, right?
Hey, that's one thing that everyone will tell you around here. Cade Klubnik is the ultimate teammate. Has not lost any faith whatsoever.
And off to Thomas again, this time brought down behind the line of scrimmage by Kyle Kennard.
I think that closeness on this roster, and kind of the harmony that it seems like they have struck here, the balance that they've struck, their team-building philosophy as it relates to the portal, NIL. I think it's something that, people from the outside really do kind of like poke holes at and kind of criticize and try to take apart. When Dabo explained it to us yesterday, it all makes sense. The players are happy here. They don't try to leave, and there's good players here. And that's why in the portal, he doesn't need to go into it very much right now.
High level of retention on 3rd and 7. Complete at the 18 and a flag down. Catch made by Henry.
And they get offensive pass interference on Randall.
17-yard pickup if it stands.
Pass interference. Offense, number 8. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 3rd down.
A puzzled look there from Randall. Q?
Yeah. In our travels this year, when you compare college football to, let's say, the NFL in terms of gathering of talent through recruiting equals the draft, and then free agency equals the portal, it's clear that Dabo wants his players to have such a great experience here, to be surrounded holistically, athletically, academically, professionally, that they don't want to leave, that no one can hit the eject button and go into the portal. And we've heard that from around the country. Kansas, Lance Leipold of Kansas told us the exact same thing. And I think that's great for the athletes, Mark.
Here's a great run by Thomas, Q. You're so right. One of the themes, the common denominators amongst coaches like Sweeney, like Leipold, you make the environment so conducive to staying that there's no need to look around.
That's right. That's right. And one of the ways in which they use NIL here is this. Look, they don't really try to entice players to come here because of NIL, but they darn sure use it to keep players here. And that's very smart as well. They reward the players here that have produced, which is another, commonality with the NFL, right? I mean, rookies used to get huge contracts coming in. The rookie wage scale was instituted. And that was so the veterans could get the money because of their performance. Same kind of thing they're trying to do here.
Helms downfield overthrows his intended receiver. This NIL is still a part of the picture. It's just how it's allocated.
Exactly.
Hey, there's always a bag involved.
That's right. No question about that.
There's always a bag.
We all understand the bag language.
Like what NBA stands for. Never broke again.
In part, TGIF Fridays with a lot of flair.
Yeah, it felt that way, didn't it, Q?
And it's all like meticulously placed.
Yeah, TGIF Fridays don't have those 2 trophies.
No.
That's some hardware.
A lot of rings in there. And
you get a sense he's really proud of the guys who've graduated here, too. Everywhere in the facility he talks about the education, how many guys have earned their degree.
That pass incomplete, intended for Singleton. Stops the clock with a little over 5.5 minutes to go. 3rd down and 3. Let's switch gears a little bit, talk about Brent Key. In his first full year on the sidelines at Georgia Tech, in wake of the style that Paul Johnson had played, it's a different type of recruit now that they're obviously looking for at Georgia Tech, right, Lewis?
Yeah, I mean, with the new offensive coordinator, with Buster Faulkner and Chris Wanke, who really coordinate this offense together, it's a much more pro-style offense. A lot of zone blocking scheme, a little gap blocking scheme where you see offensive linemen pulling.
Pass complete.
Some components of the spread, getting the quarterback involved with the quarterback run. So, yeah.
That's going to change the recruiting landscape, you would think, in and around the Georgia area. Very fertile recruiting grounds because, players now looking at that school differently, right, in terms of fit.
Yeah, absolutely. No question about it. And we know that the academic requirements at Georgia Tech are among the highest in the country.
Oh, yeah.
So that makes you have to go after a select group of guys. But it is a beautiful campus. They have got a heck of a coaching staff. They play a wide-open style of football. And Brent Key is as good as it gets in terms of teaching the fundamentals, his lineage, who he's been coached by and mentored by. Oh, Georgia Tech is on the rise.
Wonderful urban campus, too.
Yeah,
right there.
Beautiful.
Downtown ATL. Let's go back to the studio.
Mark, after Michigan's defense stopped Penn State on 4th down, the first play for the offense, Blake Corum.
Yeah, it's been about an hour and a half of real time since Michigan threw the ball. This is a physical beatdown by the Wolverines.
You say 26 straight handoffs?
27 with that touchdown.
My goodness, 24-15 late, Michigan on top. And we are getting ready, 24 minutes away from watching Florida State's offense and Keon Coleman.
I expect him to put on the show. No Keon Coleman last week. He and Johnny Wilson back. Look for a lot of big plays this week.
Didn't play last week and still leads the ACC in touchdown catches. Coming your way, Florida State, Miami. Back to you, Mark.
Coleman and Wilson back this week. Hey, folks, coming up this afternoon over on ACC Network, Pittsburgh and Syracuse, the Fighting Louis Riddicks. Facing off at Yankee Stadium, 3:30 Eastern. Then ACC Huddle Crew will have a 90-minute show up to wrap up the afternoon with highlights and analysis. And we get set for Duke, North Carolina at 8. And after the game, stay with ACC Network for a full post-game show to wrap up the night.
It's just nice to see the freshman Eric Singleton here getting some work, getting some receptions here late in this game. Because I can assure you,
this pass, Haynes King, complete.
He has been playing some fantastic football, and he is a dynamite athlete, Eric Singleton. He is going to be somebody who you're going to hear from for years to come at Georgia Tech. Do not forget the name. He has got game-breaking ability. They are super high on him. And who knows how this game looks early on, right, if he made a couple of those big plays down the field.
You're going to run it with Dante Smith. Yeah, Singleton. Fleet of foot athlete, 10.2 100-meter speed. That's what he used in the state high school finals meet last year.
That's moving.
Yes. 2nd and 7. Haynes King downfield and intended for Singleton, incomplete. Stops the clock with 3:49 to go. So Georgia Tech is going to fall, barring a cataclysmic collapse by Clemson. Going to fall to 5-5, and Clemson will improve to 6-4 and become bowl eligible.
Georgia Tech will have 2 more cracks at it. Yep. That's Syracuse and Georgia to end up the season. Well, this is going to be a continuing building process for Brent Key. He's been tutored by some of the very best.
They might want to think about really trying to get that Syracuse game, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
With Georgia coming up after that. Jamal Haynes calling for the face mask infraction. Won't get it. He's brought down at the 21. Got 11 on the play.
Absolutely zero quit in this football team right here, though.
Really, huh?
You see how this drive is going.
Here's a look at their remaining schedules. Syracuse and then Georgia. Got to win one of those 2 to become bowl eligible. They've become bowl eligible for the first time since 2018. It obviously helped recruiting. A little bit earlier this week, Q had a chance to take the temperature of the people in and around Clemson on the stock of this team.
If Clemson football were a stock, you buying, selling, or holding?
Definitely buying. Oh, I would buy all I could.
I would hold it until we win a few more games, and then I would sell it.
I'd say I'm selling. That's from a Clemson student.
I'm buying. I believe in Dabo, I believe in the team, and I'm all in. Go Tigers.
Well, there it is. That's what they're saying on the street.
Well, one Clemson student said, I'm selling.
Yeah,
Man. I don't know.
I mean, the standard's been so high, but again, they're a blue chip that has hit a little dip. It'd be a good time to buy. The other thing I'll tell you is being on campus, I'm investing in Lululemon on Monday. I have never seen a product that is so widely used.
Good call, Q. Good call. Shorts and tights into the end zone up top. Almost intercepted by Shelton Lewis.
That's such good coverage. That's such good coverage. Freshman on freshman. Shelton Lewis, you just see how strong he plays down the field. You know, these guys are going to continue to battle in their careers. They're going to be matched up year after year.
Lewis had the pick 6 a little bit earlier, remember. Sets up second down and 10 from the 21. Haynes in motion. Haynes King going to keep it. It'll be third and about 6 to go. Clock running with a little over 3 minutes to play.
That's the second longest run of the day for Haynes King.
Wow.
A guy who was just, he had rushed for over 500 yards this year, threw for over 2,300 yards coming into this game. He has not had any movement, any space at all against this Clemson defense.
Looking to pass, taking a shot in the end zone, and incomplete again. Man, he keeps trying the wrong guy. Shelton Lewis has been impregnable defensively.
And Dabo just talks glowingly about these DBs. Between him, Kylan Griffin, and Khalil Barnes, and Avion Terrell, that's 4 guys.
Hard to find enough. 4th down and 5 coming up. King, and really overshoots his intended receiver. But we got a flag. Dominique Blaylock was the intended receiver, but we have a flag. Let's see what we have here. And that's the coach who's leading.
Pass interference. Defense, number 14. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
It's going to go against Shelton Lewis.
You see, he's going to try and run him on a little bit of a double move, see if he can get him inside on the slant and then swim him back outside, and Shelton just grabs him.
Yeah.
As you saw, Dabo was not happy. You can see he's already trying to establish a standard and instill a standard in these young players, man.
Sets up a 1st and goal just outside the 2-yard line. Coach hasn't put it on Cruz yet, that's for sure. Singleton at the bottom of your screen now motions. They hand it to Haynes. And Haynes is going to be stopped up short of the end zone. Picked up a yard. 2nd to goal. This last sequence might be saying something about the guys still in the ball game for Clemson and the culture that they've got. And how badly they want to keep Georgia Tech out of the end zone this late.
You're developing habits right now, man. You're developing championship habits, competitive habits that are going to pay off not just this year, but in the future. There's guys on the field right now that are going to still be here next year.
Haynes King, wide open room service for Haynes. And we got a flag down.
Interference. Offense, number 9. 15-yard penalty. Replay.
Well, that'll come off the board. Sometimes there's a reason why guys are that wide open. Might be the case here.
Yeah, it's just going to be a little pick situation. You're going to see him come in right here on your screen. Pick off the safety. Kylan Griffin. You got to make it look like you're not trying to pick him. And here, he made it look. He looked like, hey, look, I'm trying to pick you right now.
Haynes King hits his receiver Benson. Big time hurdle and pushed out of bounds right around the 5-yard line. 3rd and goal coming up. Great agility here.
I see you, Luke. Look like my vertical.
Hey, almost had trouble getting the landing gear down there. From the 5, Haynes King into the end zone. Touchdown, Leonard. No flag on the play.
They run play action to the right.
Yeah.
What, 4 plays in a row now, 3 plays in a row, some variation of trying to get Haynes King out on the perimeter off of some type of play action fake. Finally, they're going, finally, we get the ball in the end zone, no penalties. Just continuing to try and work the offense. Coach is always in developmental mode.
Yep. A harmless, nugatory touchdown by Georgia Tech, and for Leonard, the first of the season, the first one of his career. Clemson doubling up on Georgia Tech right now, on the verge of improving to 6-4. Clemson next week, meanwhile, will take on North Carolina and then finish up with their customary rival game against South Carolina on November the 25th. That game always fun. They can still finish strongly here and chance to win out.
Yeah, those are 2 games that'll have a lot of emotion involved. The matchup against North Carolina will be a good one. That'll be a good one right here. You know the fan base around here will be fired up for that. And then the big rivalry game.
Yeah. Thanksgiving weekend will be here before you know it.
I mean, what a cool experience, though, this has been for me to come down here to this stadium.
Onside kick is recovered by Clemson. So let's take one more look at Lou's do's and don'ts and put a period on the day.
The do's, huh? Georgia Tech neutralized Clemson defensive front. Didn't happen. King sacked 4 times. No missed tackles. I mean, they didn't do too bad, but the passing game for Clemson really took over. Win the turnover battle for sure. Don't let Haynes King become a runner. They absolutely shut him down. For the day, Haynes King, 11 rushes, -3 yards, with a long of 7. I think mission accomplished.
Yeah. Adams on the carry. Quarterback in the ball game is Zena. Christopher Zena out of Birmingham. 2nd and 7 from the 49. Out of bounds around the 25. Again. Brought down right near the 30. 50 seconds to play. You know, if we get back here again, I'm gonna run down that hill. Might be my. You never know when your last chance to run down the hill.
You know,
I did it once.
You know,
There's a skill to it.
You know what? Yeah, the skill is be careful. Maybe have some football shoes on. Have your ankles spatted up.
Get to the athletic trainer first.
I don't know if wearing a pair of slick Air Jordans would have been smart on my part.
No, that was a very discerning move. That'll do it. And there's the custom here. Fans onto the field, running down the hill, and from the